This is the continued testimony of alleged victim Mia testifying under a pseudonym. There is a lot to break down with respect to her direct testimony, her cross-examination by the defense. Remember yesterday, she testified that she was verbally, physically, sexually assaulted by Sean Combs, goes to potentially forced labor as the underlying crime of racketeering. Remember, prosecutors have to prove at least 2 underlying crimes of racketeering. Forced labor is one of them. I also think her testimony goes to this pattern of criminal activity for racketeering.
The name that silenced the entire courtroom, Janice Combs. Diddy's mother, who exactly is she in this empire of violence? And why could the testimony of someone once considered Diddy's right-hand man be the key to bringing the entire Combs family to its knees? At this morning's federal hearing in Manhattan, an unexpected witness left the room in stunned silence. Mia, once regarded as Diddy's fiercely loyal confidant, stepped forward with a suitcase brimming with documents, audio recordings, and long-buried secrets. But the real bombshell wasn't what Diddy had done. It was the name Mia kept repeating: Janice Combs, Diddy's own mother.
Producer Tim Dog Patterson, he alleged that Janice, Diddy's mom, would often throw parties at Diddy's childhood home.
Rejuvenate you. She likes, allegedly, to have threesomes with her son. You know how you and your son play with my friend underage in the bed, Janice? It started with her.
From the image of a gentle, aging mother in the public eye, Janice now emerges as a cunning mastermind lurking behind the scenes, the one who quietly molded Sean Combs into a tool of power, willing to do whatever it took to expand an empire built on violence, wealth, and silence. Was Diddy merely a pawn carrying out orders? Could it be that his mother, never seen by the public as a figure of authority, was the true orchestrator? And is Mia's betrayal an act of brave defiance for justice, or is it guided by an even more formidable force than Diddy himself? The truth is unraveling, layer by layer, and the name Janice Combs, once known only as the defendant's mother, may now hold the key to unlocking the shocking reality of this explosive case.
I've lived in fear for far too long. Diddy and his mother Janice backed me into a corner. They thought they could silence me, but today I'm here to tell the truth, the whole truth, no matter how painful it is. I'm not just doing this for myself, but for all the women they turned into pawns, the voiceless victims. I won't let them hide in the shadows any longer.
As Mia finished speaking, a heavy silence gripped the courtroom, thick with the tension of an impending storm. Curious glances darted across the room, whispers rippling through the crowd as a woman stepped up to the witness stand. She was known only as Mia, a pseudonym to shield her identity, yet her presence was a ticking time bomb. Mia, once Diddy's trusted aide for 7 long years, stood there with a steely gaze but trembling hands. She wasn't just a witness. She was a survivor, someone who had seen and endured the darkest secrets of the Combs family over nearly a decade. Mia's testimony wasn't merely an accusation. It was a razor-sharp blade, slicing through the polished facade of the Combs family, exposing a truth that left the world reeling. Sean Diddy Combs, the powerful music icon, wasn't the mastermind behind his criminal empire. The true puppeteer, the one who shaped the monster known as Diddy, was none other than his mother, Janice Combs. Far from the pitiful mother shedding tears of innocence in the media, Janice was a cunning manipulator, a ruthless madam orchestrating a chilling web of crime.
You heard about how Diddy mom came out defending him? She made a comment saying that Diddy is not a monster.
Yeah, he not a monster. She is. But I don't want to go there. But she is. She's the fucking monster. Everything else fucking name. She's the monster. She created that. I don't want to go there. The fucking satanic behind all this shit. It's her. It's her, bro. It's her. She is his. I can't even explain it, bro. She just ain't no, she the devil, bro. That's how I see it. She the devil. Janice Combs is the fucking devil.
Janice Combs isn't just Diddy's mother. She's the cunning mastermind, the architect behind every heinous act. Diddy may be the monster in the public's eyes, but it was Janice who forged him, carefully steering him step by step into the abyss of corruption.
According to Mia's gripping testimony in court, Janice wasn't merely a mother lurking in the shadows. She was the linchpin, the very soul of a criminal empire built on the blood and tears of young women. With chilling precision and calculated ruthlessness, she personally handpicked the victims, aspiring young dancers brimming with dreams, naive female assistants barely old enough to grasp the ways of the world. She preyed on the most vulnerable, Mia revealed, her voice breaking with anguish. They were often girls with nowhere to turn, some with only a middle school education, easily swayed by promises of Hollywood glamour and a dazzling future.
She had a modeling agency, but it wasn't a modeling agency. It was more a brothel. that she ran for high-profile drug dealers and athletes.
On the surface, Janice appeared as a formidable woman, a successful entrepreneur running a prestigious modeling agency, loudly promoted as a launchpad for young talent. But beneath that glittering facade lay a horrifying truth: the company was nothing more than a sophisticated front for a transnational call-girl operation. Janice's network stretched from major American cities to international entertainment hubs, where young women were transformed into tools to satisfy the sinister desires of the elite. Mia recounted this, tears streaming down her face, each word seeming to rip her heart apart.
To Janice and Diddy, those girls weren't human beings. They were commodities, carefully packaged gifts to be traded with heavyweights from powerful politicians and entertainment moguls to shadowy billionaires, all in exchange for multi-million-dollar deals or to solidify ties of influence.
Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, where girls from Janice's network were delivered, were far from mere lavish gatherings. They were brutal arenas where victims were coerced into serving during grueling ordeals that stretched across days, sometimes weeks. Mia recounted, her voice heavy with haunting memories. Janice personally handpicked each girl for these events. She studied them meticulously, their looks, their age, their demeanor, to ensure they matched the preferences of the VIP clients. Some girls were chosen purely for their innocence, while others were forced to fulfill far darker, more depraved demands.
What's crazy is there's a video of him and his mother. They're really like talking about sexual stuff together. Him and his mom.
In Janice's eyes, every girl was a pawn on the Combs family's chessboard of power, strategically deployed to secure financial gains or protection from influential figures. If a VIP was pleased, they didn't just sign lucrative deals, they'd sometimes pay an extra commission for the gift of a girl. Mia revealed, her voice brimming with righteous fury.
Janice called it the art of business, but to me, it was unforgivable cruelty.
Janice's cunning went far beyond orchestrating the network. She personally oversaw every facet of the criminal operation, from selecting victims and arranging deals to ensuring no detail ever leaked to the outside world. With a chilling smile and piercing gaze, she commanded everything like a master strategist, turning the dreams of young girls into inescapable nightmares. She never left a trace. Every move she made was meticulously calculated.
If anyone dared to speak out, Janice made sure they vanished, not just from the entertainment industry, but from the face of the earth.
Even more horrifying, according to Mia's testimony, was what lay hidden beneath the opulent facade of the Combs family's lavish mansion. Beyond the dazzling glow of extravagant parties, a chilling secret festered, a den of captivity, directly overseen by Janice Combs, where dozens of young women were held. Mia revealed to the court that this den wasn't just a cold basement, it was an underground prison where girls were stripped of their dignity, reduced to tools to satisfy the dark desires of VIP clients at any moment. Janice called it the warehouse, Mia recounted, her voice choking as if strangled by the weight of the memory.
But for the girls trapped down there, it was a living hell, a place where light, hope, and humanity itself were snuffed out.
The conditions in that basement were so brutal they defied comprehension. The girls were confined in cramped, pitch-black rooms with icy concrete walls and the suffocating stench of mildew. They were given only 2 meals a day, usually a few slices of stale bread and a bowl of watery soup that barely kept them alive. Mia recounted, tears streaming down her cheeks. Janice always said eating too much would make them fat, and clients don't want imperfect girls. Some were so emaciated they were skin and bones, their eyes sunken from hunger and despair, but she didn't care in the slightest. To her, they weren't human. They were just products, commodities kept on hand to serve at a moment's notice. Janice's cruelty didn't end with starvation. She enforced a ruthless system of control, ensuring no girl dared to resist.
If anyone dared to complain or resist, Janice would personally appear, her icy smile and voice sharp as a blade, threatening that they would never see the light of day again.
The girls trapped in this den were largely victims of hollow promises. With her polished demeanor and masterful manipulation, Janice laid traps with enticing tales of stardom. She targeted the most vulnerable, orphans, middle school dropouts, or those fleeing broken homes. Mia recounted, she dangled dreams of Hollywood spotlight, modeling contracts, and grand performances. But the moment they stepped into her company, everything was stripped away, from their identification documents to their freedom. They were taken to the basement, and from that point on, their lives no longer belonged to them. Diddy's notorious freak-off parties, where these girls were dragged up from the basement, were not the glamorous affairs people imagined. According to Mia and other witnesses like Cassie Ventura, they were grueling ordeals lasting days, sometimes weeks, where the girls were forced to serve an endless stream of VIP clients, politicians, tycoons, and powerful entertainment figures. One girl collapsed after 4 straight days without sleep or rest. Mia shared, her voice trembling with outrage. Janice just stood there smirking and said she's too weak, not worthy of the opportunity. Then Diddy's people would inject or force the girls to take some kind of stimulant. I don't know exactly what it was, but it left them dazed, stripped of willpower, obeying like marionettes on strings. Serving VIP clients was pitched as a perverse opportunity, a mirage crafted by Janice and Diddy to manipulate their victims. They were told that if they were lucky enough to catch the eye of a powerful figure, they might be freed from the basement and given a better life. But the cost was relentless physical and emotional torment. Some girls had to serve day after day until their bodies gave out, too weak to even stand, Mia said, her eyes red and haunted. They were forced to take drugs to stay alert, compelled to endure things no one should ever have to face, and if they refused, Janice would appear in person, her gaze ice cold, threatening to lock them in the basement forever, or worse, make them disappear without a trace.
I'm still haunted by the look in their eyes.
Mia could never shake the memories of being sent down to the basement to fetch the girls for their duties. Her voice trembled, tears streaming down her face. They looked at me with pleading eyes as if I were their last flicker of hope, but I was powerless. I was just an assistant, and I knew all too well that if I dared to resist, I'd be the next one locked away down there. I lived in constant dread, torn between my conscience and survival. Each step Mia took into that basement, each clang of the heavy iron door slamming shut, felt like a blade slicing through her heart. I heard their soft sobs, their faint pleas, but I had to turn a blind eye. I'll never forgive myself for that, she confessed. The brutality of the den in that basement wasn't just in the harsh living conditions or the torment endured at those depraved freak-off parties. It was in the way Janice reduced those young women to mere numbers, nothing more than commodities. She kept a ledger, Mia revealed, a detailed record of every girl, name, age, traits, and even their value to each client. She managed them like inventory in a warehouse, and if a girl was no longer useful, Janice would discard her without a second thought. That chilling, calculated efficiency turned the Combs family basement into a symbol of moral decay, a place where humanity was trampled and dreams were crushed. Mia didn't just take the witness stand with tear-soaked stories, she brought with her a trove of meticulously gathered evidence, powerful enough to hush the entire courtroom into stunned silence. Clutched in her hand was a small USB drive, unassuming yet brimming with horrifying secrets, covert audio recordings carefully backed up from the old phone she used while working for the Combs family. Those recordings, laced with Janice's chilling, razor-sharp voice, laid bare the stark truth of the family's criminal empire. In one clip, her voice sliced through the air like a blade. "Don't let anyone know about the basement, Diddy. If there's a leak, you know how I'll handle it. No mercy." Another recording exposed her ruthless scheming as she issued instructions to her son, her words dripping with cold calculation.
"Pick this girl for the deal with him. She's got the look he's into. If he's pleased, that $50 million contract is as good as ours."
Each word in those recordings cut like a knife, exposing the ruthless nature of the Combs duo, who treated people as mere tools to barter for power and wealth. But the USB was just the beginning. Mia presented 6 videos, spanning from 2018 to 2022, painstakingly collected during her years working under Diddy. They captured shadowy deals between him and high-profile clients. Among them, a powerful figure whose name Mia withheld, fearing for her own safety, appeared in one clip negotiating with Diddy over a gift in the form of a young woman. Another video left the courtroom in stunned silence. Janice, with a chillingly calm demeanor, was seen at a freak-off party, directing staff to prepare lubricants, bed sheets, and even drugs with a terrifying professionalism. She didn't just know about it all, Mia declared, her voice trembling with outrage.
She orchestrated every detail, from picking which girl would serve to arranging the deals so flawlessly that no slip-up could ever be traced.
The centerpiece of Mia's evidence was security camera footage from the Combs family's lavish mansion. One chilling clip, captured on a dark night, showed a young girl, frail and trembling, being led out of the secret basement by a bodyguard. She didn't dare cry, but her eyes were filled with terror, Mia recounted, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I knew she was being taken to a VIP client, and I was powerless to save her." Another piece of footage, said to have sparked visible outrage in Judge Arun Subramanian, depicted Janice at a freak-off party. With a faint smile and icy gaze, she directed staff to prepare everything like an event planner, but instead of a typical celebration, it was a cruel ordeal for the captive girls. Mia also presented a series of bank transaction records, exposing the intricate financial web the Combs family used to launder money and conceal their criminal dealings. 5 shell companies, ranging from a fashion label to a music studio and an event planning firm, were set up for one purpose: funneling gifts in the form of cash or girls to influential figures in politics, entertainment, and business. They called it commission, Mia said, her voice thick with bitterness.
I once heard Janice boast about how one girl secured them a deal worth tens of millions. To her, every girl was just a number, a tool to bolster their power and pile up wealth.
The documents, with their murky figures and shadowy cash flows, painted a vivid picture of a criminal empire built on exploitation and manipulation. Among the evidence, Mia provided screenshots of messages sent by Diddy and Janice, ordering her to escort girls from the basement to serve clients. The terse, chilling commands, "Get girl number 3 ready for tonight," or "Make sure she doesn't talk," stood as stark proof of the Combs duo's cruelty. They treated people like objects, Mia said, her voice breaking with anguish. Janice wasn't just involved, she was the mastermind. From choosing which girl would be sent up to covering up the transactions, she controlled it all. Mia also submitted a list of VIP clients who received gifts from the Combs family, sending a ripple of shock through the courtroom. The list included powerful names from politics to entertainment moguls, though Mia withheld specifics, fearing retaliation. These weren't just clients, she said. They were part of the network, complicit in keeping that den in the basement alive. A final piece of security footage, pulled from the mansion system, revealed the entrance to a hidden tunnel leading to the basement, where dozens of girls were held in darkness, awaiting their grim fates.
That tunnel was a symbol of depravity. It wasn't just a place to confine those girls, it was where the Combs family buried their humanity.
The cunning of the Combs duo went beyond treating the girls as mere bargaining chips. Through their shell companies, they crafted an intricate financial web to launder money and mask the origins of their massive profits. Every transaction was disguised as legitimate business, Mia revealed. A music studio might pocket millions for recording projects that never existed, or a fashion company would funnel funds for a marketing campaign that was actually payment to VIP clients. These documents, paired with the audio recordings and videos, painted a chilling portrait of a criminal network operated with the precision and ruthlessness of a multinational corporation.